So let's first of all let's begin with the Python hierarchy type. Okay, so mostly it has a three type. First one is the number, second one is the collection, and third one is the callables. There's the one thing more we call a singleton. Okay, so coming to the number is basically divided into the two parts: integrals and non-integrals. Okay, the collection is basically divided into the three part: sequences, sets, and the mapping. And the callables are have like there's the multiple callables here. So now let's talk about the integers here. So integers are basically the number laying from minus infinity to plus infinity. And also this should be like discrete numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. When come to the the booleans just have the two values. It can be either true or it can be false. In non-integrals, here is the float. So it contains all the rational number. So float क्या contain करेगा? Like minus infinity to plus infinity, but it will also include the decimal value. So like uh, the integer will have 1 and 2, but the float can have 2.5, 2.8, and many more. Now coming to the complex one. So the complex number content, it is the complex number. It's called complex because it has the real number and imaginary number as well. So we represent the complex number in the form of a plus ib. Here I represent under root minus 1, imaginary part. So this one is the decimal and this one the fraction. So in Python, what happened, like the decimal value in decimal, like a float, not decimal, float, we have the some sort of precision, like up to what decimal it is precise, what up to what decimal places the particular store value is precise. Okay, so to overcome this problem, like there are the few numbers which cannot be stored properly in the programming language or in a computer. Suppose there are a few numbers, but we can call this like 0.2. The 0.2 cannot be stored precisely into the any computer. Its value cannot be precisely stored. So what we can store this value as of in a fraction part as numerator as 1 and denominator as 5. Okay, and then we add this 5 and then you can get the particular one here. 1. Okay, now coming to the sequences. Sequences are those which have a set of value, not I will not call a set, like a collection of the value. Basically it is a collection of the part. So sequence, so so it has basically the two part. First one is mutable. I have denoted a mutable. Second one is immutable. Like once we store a particular value into the immutable data type, we cannot change it. Okay, now in the mutable one, once we have allocated a particular value to the mutable, then we can change, like we can enhance, like increase the size of the mutable collection, that is list. But in the when it comes to the immutable part, we cannot increase the length or size, or we can update any value of sort of it. Suppose a string, if I have defined here Amar in a particular string s, if I want to update this value, I want to remove this value, I cannot do. Okay, but it can be done. I'm not saying that it cannot be done, it can be done, but the memory reference will change. like suppose if you're not getting what I'm saying, so just ignore this part. I will make a separate video on each of this number, this integer, non-integer, sequence, set, mapping, and callables. Like I will make the few videos on like user defined function, generator, instance, and classes will be a part of when we will go through the object oriented and build it method and like all these things. Okay, so now come to the set. So what is a set? Set is something which contain a unique value. Like suppose if you want to store something in the sequence, this sequence, like in sequence I can write 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 2, but when I'm going to define this into the set, what will happen if I will define a set of the 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 2, so it will convert into the unique. So this will be the set. Okay, it will contains only the unique stuff. It will be just 1 and 2. So as usual, from them it is very clear the sets, you can change their length and size as well, but there's something we call it the frozen set, which are the immutables one. So we cannot change their size or shape, you can say, like we cannot increase the number of elements in the frozen set. Now come to the callables. So callables are something we can call, like suppose we have a list, then we can call a length of, suppose we have the list L. So this is length, the alien function, which is an built-in function, built-in method here. I will say it is a function. No, so it is a function, okay, and we can call it. And we can call it. Suppose if I'm going to define a list L, the list dot append particular value 1, so it is a built-in method. User defined function, I'm going to define a function like, suppose diff add a comma b, return a plus b. So this is the user defined function here. And what you will have to do, if you call in a Python add 1 comma 2, then it will give you the value of 3. Generators, class, and instance, I will come on this topic in the later on video, because once I will complete the object oriented or a little bit overview of the classes, then I will cover these topics, because then it will be quite clear to you. So next one will be the video which will cover the number. Okay, the number, the integers and non-integrals, integer, boolean, float, complex number, decimal, and fraction part. For more awesome such content, please subscribe to the channel. And there is one more thing, want to certificate in Python or machine learning stuff, so go to our site collegeofai.com. Register the course and you will get a free certificate after the completion of the video.